Good morning, no, good afternoon, my fellow pipe smokers and YouTube friends and community. Welcome. I'm bringing this video today from my garden, familiar spot and a very nice spot where I often sit on a very nice relaxing chair and enjoying the nature. It's becoming winter here, so the colors will start changing to more dull, and more winterish colors, and especially some trees will start losing their leaves. Also looks like there's a storm brewing today, but today I would like to continue on my videos on the two pipe shape names which has specific connotations to or connections to South African history. And as you will remember, the first one I did was on the Oom Paul shape, which was, he was a president of one of the republics in South Africa at that stage. South Africa was still not united and divided into four different areas. That was 1880, 1890, 1900, and he was also the president during the Anglo-Boer War. And he was familiar for pipe hanging from his mouth, and that's where the Oom Paul shape or the Hungarian originated from. But today I'm bringing you the other one that has good connections to South African history, and that is the Zulu pipe name. So the Zulu, what was interesting to me is I was searching for, all over the internet for the name and the origin of the name, and there was plenty of sites of very knowledgeable pipe smokers who owns a lot of them and who collects them, and they can explain to you, how they should look like and who makes them and who makes the best of them, and the dimensions and everything. But none of them could really tell me what was the origin of the pipe, the name. So after I read some history on the Zulu kingdoms and the early tribes and the early tribes in smoking pipes in South Africa, I got some clue, and I think I might have the answer where the name came from. Just before I reveal that, the Xhosas made pipes, long pipes like this, with a head, fairly small diameter bowl, and they beaded it and then they smoked it. On my website, and I'll put the link down here, you will see some of those photos. And they smoked before tobacco came to South Africa, which Jan van Riebeeck brought in 1652. They mostly smoked cannabis, or dagga, which what the name is in South Africa in Afrikaans, and they used that obviously for smoking in their pipes until the tobacco came, and then tobacco were traded for cattle and all kinds of things. So then the tobacco growing in South Africa and in Africa started. So the Zulu name, where and what is the link to the name? Well, the original Zulu pipe was actually a horn from a cattle which they used, and then just bore a hole through and used that as their smoking utensil. Now there is a good example of a Zulu horn, a Zulu pipe. So you can see the horn and a little piece of wood which they inserted there for the as the stem or as the mouthpiece. So looking at that, you can see that there's similarities, and I can now understand where the name, the Zulu name, probably, and I'm not saying that I know and it's a fact, but I can see where the name probably originated from. This is a Zulu which was made by a Greek pipe maker. I don't know who he is, but I traded this pipe with Carlos Matsongos, he wanted a Peterson and I fancied the Zulu, so we traded and we became friends, and this is my Zulu. So maybe not the perfect Zulu, because apparently the bowl height and the piece before the stem should be fairly the same, but still it's a good representation of a Zulu. The important thing about the Zulu shape is that it should be a more bent forward type of bowl. So you can see it's a little bit bent forward, so that you can't necessarily see the inside while smoking it. So yeah, so that's the Zulu shape. Some people call this shape also the Yachtsman or a bent Dublin, but purely clearly it's not a bent Dublin. So the Zulu has got very specific characters. One of the more specific characters of a Zulu is exactly this forward bent bowl, and you know, the more the bowl is bent forward, the more maybe it will be classified as a Zulu, as you saw the horn. Some people also call this the horn, but the horn is a little bit different. The horn is more as you saw the horn, but this is why and how the Zulu looks like. And as I said, seeing the horn and seeing what they smoked in the early days of the Zulu tribes, that I can understand why pipe makers then started calling this the Zulu. But as I said, no one had any, you know, scientific proof or research that is exactly where it originated from. As I said, the tribes in South Africa, they often smoked pipes, and in the old days more dagga. I also heard that the dagga that is grown in Swaziland is some of the best dagga that you can get. Obviously, you can't get it legally, so it's pointless. But still, you know, the dagga that's been grown there, and I can, you know, Swaziland is just about 60 kilometers or so from here, and Swaziland is a very fertile and very humid area. So I can actually understand that. The other thing about the Zulu pipe, which is very nice and which I do like, is the shape makes, you know, holding it very, very nice, and I think that is why it is popular. It holds very nice, and it clenches perfectly. So if you are a clencher, then the Zulu will be equally very easy to clench, like the Oom Paul, and it is light on your jaw. It is a light pipe, and it's also a small bowl, as you can see. So you know, it's more a quick smoke than a huge bowl which you will take an hour and a half maybe to smoke through. So being a South African, and I had to make some more new tempers for me, because all my tempers were bought up by some of my friends. Where was I? So this is then my video on the Zulu shape, which has clear South African connections, and being a South African, I fancy obviously these two, so I do have a Zulu and I wouldn't mind having another one, so I'll start looking for another one. I understand that Daniel makes a very nice Zulu, but the price range of Daniel is just beyond my means. I do have two Oom Pauls which I really do like. So friends, on that short note, I'm going to love and leave you. to enjoy the rest of this afternoon here in the garden. Maybe do some watering of the plants, and thank you for watching. And I'm on 93 subscribers, so if you do want to subscribe, go ahead. And if you do want to share my video with some others so that they can subscribe, please do so. I'm even considering to make some more tempers so that I can maybe, you know, do a competition on subscribe, 100 subscribers or so, and then maybe send out a temper for a prize. But I'll consider that after I made some more tempers, because currently I'm out of stock. So on that note, thank you for watching, and enjoy your pipe smoking and the rest of your week. Bye bye.